Hey y'all, welcome back to Krista's Kitchen. So our Santa Fe chicken packs are in the oven. I'm going to show y'all how we made those. We made pasta salad last night to go with it, so I'll show you how we made that also. And I just wanted to show y'all some of these really cute games that we found at Aldi. And for all, let's see, 5 of these games, $58. Now some of these, this one we'll be keeping for ourselves, so I'm about to blow them all up and put them together. But the rest of these, we're having a fun day at church tomorrow, and like we'll have a water slide, a bounce house, and snow cones and all of that to keep the kids entertained. But I thought these would be super cool too, and then they can end up going to the children's church area and they can use them for later on. The adults can use them, all just kind of come together. But for all 5 of these, a steal of a deal, especially because I've looked at one of these before. I should have grabbed another one, but I've looked at one of these before for us because I remember playing with it as a child and I had to get it. So I'm going to open them all up, and now this one, just because I thought the church isn't going to really want the kids beating up each other. My kids are okay to beat each other up. But we got the 2 burrito boppers, which they've had the little bounce and like sumo suits. They've had the punching, like rock and sock 'em, big air up fist. And my personal opinion, find that it's a great way for my kids to get their energy out, learn their boundaries of what's too rough, but also get to hit their sibling, because sometimes in life we feel like we need to hit them, but they need to learn that that's not, like, punching is not acceptable, not in our house, you know that, but we can do this and I'm okay with that. So I shouldn't have put on chapstick, but we're gonna blow these up. They're super cute, y'all. Look how cute. I can't wait. I might be more excited about these than they are. But we got a ring toss, a jumbo kickball set, the parachute, lawn dice. So to me, I hope there's 5. I didn't even look at that. I'm just seeing 4 on the picture. But I was hoping, oh, 6. But I was thinking Yahtzee maybe. Does anybody even know how to play Yahtzee anymore? But I'm going to get these going while our chicken and everything finishes up. We'll show you how to make it, and I'll catch y'all back here at the very end. Alright y'all, so we're going to go ahead and get our Santa Fe packs all situated so that we can just load them up and pop them in the oven. I'm going to use a little baking sheet to put some foil packs down. These are going to be what our chicken and everything go in. So I just need about 4 of these. I'm not sure how many pieces of chicken I have. This is a pack that I had frozen, and we're gonna see. So we're just, let me spray it really quick. So I'm just gonna lay all of the chicken in the foil packs, and then we'll season them and add everything in at the same time. I just want to minimize them sticking, not for cleanup purposes, but for eating purposes, so we're not peeling foil off of our food. You could also throw these on the grill, that way you're not heating up your oven. We got rid of our smoker on a while back, and Michael's regretting it, so he's been wanting another one. I'll add just a little bit of chicken to kind of balance that out, because that one's a little bit of a smaller pack. But alright, so we're going to move this out of the way. So all I want to do is season them with a little bit of salt, pepper, some chili powder, and some cumin. I'm just going to flip all of these over and we're going to season that other side the exact same way. We're going to fill each packet with about 1/3 to 1/2 cup of corn kernels. I'm just using a bag of steamable corn that I've been letting thaw. It's not fully thawed, as you can hear the little plonks, but mostly. Okay, now I'll move it to the side for real. So we're going to add in all of the rest of our ingredients. So I'm going to just dice about, well, usually about half of this, but I'm going to actually use the whole thing because we really like bell pepper and I don't have anything else to use the other half for within the next day or so. So I'm just going to toss it all in. Let me grab my compost bowl. Oven is preheated. We have it preheating to 400, and like I said before, you could also throw this on the grill. So just a small dice. Doesn't have to be anything super fine, just your personal preference. Little trick, just keep it inside fleshy side up and it'll slice much easier even with the worst knife. If you want to make these fajita style, just leave them in some strips. By the time your chicken cooks, your peppers will be cooked also. If you want, you could add onion to this. We're not going to. Okay, and now we're just going to divide this up between the packets. And you could choose any color bell pepper you want. I chose red just for the color variation. Next up, I'm going to take this half of a jalapeno that I have from making pasta salad last night. And I'm only putting this on 2. I think I'll probably add, I'll slice up another jalapeno just because it didn't taste very spicy at all to me. It's a very mild jalapeno. But Eleanor's not liking spicy. Thatcher's been into peppers lately though, so I'll add some in with his. So for this next part, you can switch it up however you like. If you have a can of Rotel, some salsa, you can use that. I just have some tomatoes that in my grocery pickup order, they smashed. So I'm chopping those up and adding them in. You see I already cut off the parts where they smashed it, just so I could go ahead and get them. I put them in the fridge. I don't usually put my tomatoes in the fridge, but once they were smashed, I cut off the smashed parts. Just a rough chop, but like I said, you could use Rotel, a can of Rotel, and divide it up between these. I'm not sure why, but I've seen some people drain Rotel. Don't drain it. I mean, I understand if you want to use the flavor profile, but you don't need the extra liquid, but I would try and figure out how to adjust the liquid. But anyway, just some tomatoes, some salsa, some Rotel, some kind of tomato situation. And that is it. I'm going to bring these back over here so you can see how they look. I'm going to wrap these up. Like I said, I'm using this just so they don't like leak all over my oven. But I'm going to pull up the sides. And if they don't close all the way, that's okay. But you want to try and get them as sealed as you can so they're kind of steaming in there. So, that's one. Another reason you don't want huge chicken breast in there or chicken pieces is they won't close. But if you used your own, the foil you tear and cut, you can make it the size you need to. These are going in the oven at 400 for about 30 minutes. And I'm going to show y'all how we made the pasta salad that's going to go alongside this. Very, very similar flavor profiles. Okay, so our side dish that we're having with our Santa Fe packets tonight is a pasta salad. I'm actually making this yesterday, but I cooked the pasta tonight before we went to Bible study so that it could cool down, and I'm about to prep the rest of the ingredients. And this is called Mexican street corn pasta salad. So this is just 2 cups before cooking of the farfalle or bow tie pasta, and I've let it cool. So now we're going to mix everything else up that goes in it. Okay, so I'm going to actually try to make this all in this one bowl so I don't have a ton of extra dirty dishes. So that's my pasta. I just flipped it out so I can use the bowl to make the dressing. You want about half a cup of mayonnaise. I like making the dressings for pasta salad first. That way I feel like it mixes better all together. You want about 1/8 of a teaspoon of cumin. You usually want some paprika, but I can't find mine. Let's add half a teaspoon of chili powder. About 1 teaspoon of sriracha. Less if you don't like spice. More if you love it. And the juice of 1 lime. If your limes are tiny like mine, maybe the juice of 2. But you want about 3 tablespoons. That sour note is a big component of street corn. A little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Just going to mix this around until it makes like a little dressing. And this recipe calls for 3 cups of corn. However, I'm going to do 1.5 cups of this frozen corn that I've thawed, and then 1.5 cups of black beans. So I've got 1.5 cups of black beans, and these are just some that I've canned. I went ahead and drained them and rinsed them. I'm going to add our pasta back in. Give this a good mix. Then we're going to start tossing in all of our chopped veggies. I just want to move as much out of the way as I can so I can just chop and fill. Okay, so I'm going to speed this up for y'all, but we've got about 6 to 8 slices of bacon that we're chopping up. This is just some that we have left over from yesterday's breakfast. You can even use those pre-cooked bacon bits in the little package. I would probably add in maybe 1 or more if you really love bacon. But to me, bacon is not really the star of the show for this, but it is the only source of meat in this side dish, which, I mean, you could really leave it out, but it adds a smoky layer to it. All that to say, you could use the little packages. Maybe do 1 to 2 depending on how much you really love bacon. I'm going to add the tops of 3 green onions. And if you like the bite of the white part of your scallion, feel free to use that. However, I don't, and I'm just now pushing myself to eat the tops of these. I'm trying to make myself grow up. I'm going to take the rest of these and just drop them in some water and put them on my windowsill. Next up, we're going to take about half of this bunch of cilantro and chop it up. I purchased a cilantro plant at the beginning of the summer, well, springtime, and it is dead. Like, I try and try. I feel like I spend so much more money just trying to start my own garden, and I'm so unsuccessful for one reason or another. But we'll save that other half for dinner and a few other recipes for this week. We're going to use up cilantro. I'm trying to be very purposeful with using up my ingredients so I have less waste. However, I am dehydrating a lot of my extra things before they go bad to try and minimize that waste as well. But I'm just chopping up half a bunch of cilantro, stems and all. I'm okay with some of the bigger chunks, but I do want it pretty spaced out throughout. And this is also another thing that I've just started pushing myself within the last few years to make myself try, because I have never in the past liked cilantro. But my 5-year-old, well, 6-year-old now, is addicted to street tacos with just the meat and cilantro. He doesn't eat the onions in it, but loves him some street tacos. I mean, he can put away 5 or 6 good sized street tacos. So I'm trying to incorporate things that they like and keep them adventurous. Oh, that looks so pretty. Makes me want to add tomato just because I love tomato in a pasta salad, but I don't want to break the, to me, the tomato speaks more to an Italian pasta salad or a ranch pasta salad. Okay, now we're going to take a little bit of this jalapeno. Not too much because, again, kiddos are eating this and I want them to eat. I don't recommend pulling this out with your fingers unless you're used to it. But maybe about a half or a third of a jalapeno and do a really small dice. You can use larger chunks if you like, but like I said, I have kiddos and we already have the sriracha in it. Now Thatcher is really liking some spice, but Eleanor has started saying she does not like spice at all. So we shall see. Okay, when you feel like you've got it diced fine enough for what you want, just mix it in. I'm going to add in half of this packet of, or this little block, whatever you call this, of queso fresco. We're just going to crumble it straight in. This is the same cheese that we use to make our chorizo breakfast tacos, if you saw that episode, or if you saw that video. That has become one of Eleanor's, we obviously really like tacos, but that's become one of Eleanor's favorite breakfasts after she spent the night with a friend of hers. This was a while back now, but she spent the night at a friend's house and she came home telling me what her mom had made them for breakfast, and she said that she ate and ate and ate and ate and ate, so of course I wanted to know what it was, so she would eat at home. I'm going to mix this all until it is all the way incorporated now. I do have avocado that I'm going to use, but I like to slice that up and just put that straight on top because I don't want it turning into like an avocado mayo. I mean, you could get the same avocado flavor in here by mixing it with your mayo, but I want those chunks of avocado. So I'm going to slice this one up and have a bowl of this tonight, but I'm saving the other avocado that we have so that we can have this when you're seeing it with our Santa Fe foil packets. You could top this with more green onion for presentation, but I'm just presenting it to myself, so I'm not concerned with that. And these flavors will develop as it sits also, but it should be yummy right now. So this avocado is not quite as ripe as I would like it. I missed the bowl for every single piece. It's like not even one piece stayed in the bowl. Our street corn pasta salad that will not make you regret eating pasta. I'm going to scoot you down. Alright, while she airs the dodgeballs up and while Thatcher airs up our burritos, I'm going to show y'all, we're going to check our chicken. So for doneness of chicken, we want about 165. So let's see. Or at least 165, I should say. 174. Really, this is the main one that you need to be careful of. 174. Okay, so all of our chicken is up to temperature. Thatcher is struggling with the burrito. We are going to take some slices of Colby Jack just because I have it already sliced up from when we made some little charcuterie boards the other day. I'm gonna tuck that one big old slice on each one. You could use shredded, you could use the taco cheese, whatever you like, but you don't want to add it before this step. I'm actually gonna leave them open and just put them back in the oven for just a second to melt over top so they don't stick to all of my foil. A little bit more. Now for mine, I'm actually going to add some Flaming Jack. I have become like obsessed with this Flaming Jack cheese ever since we had it at church. Okay, so I'm gonna pop this back in the oven for just a minute to melt the cheese over, but it's off, so it just needs the heat of what's left in the oven.
Think this is good enough? Okay, now what do I do? Just pull it out?
Pull it out?
What? De-air?
Nope.
Oh, good. That's nice.
Okay, y'all. So they're back out of the oven. Just going to move our little foil piece over to the plate and top it with a little bit of cilantro. And look how yummy. And that's our pasta salad right there too. We've already eaten a ton of the pasta salad. I did end up adding, I think it was a little more chili powder and some more jalapeno to the pasta salad, just because that jalapeno does not have a ton of, well, it doesn't have hardly any heat in my opinion, but yummy, yummy. Some of the lime that we used for this, you could easily put that in with chicken also. Fantastic. Ooh, this pepper has more spice than the other one did for that, but it'll work out. Or it could be my cheese, probably my cheese. But oh my goodness, y'all. And look how juicy our chicken is. We should have let it sit a minute longer, but we need to eat and hit the road. So we will see y'all next time. Bye.